Appreciate you, Chris. I was just talking away and nobody was going to let me know. Well, welcome, everybody. This is SJG. You're watching WSSU Ram Nation. And this is a big week for WSSU, an exciting time. A lot of things are going on. I was just yapping to myself. And Dr. Miles, I see on Facebook, you said that you can't hear me. Can you concur that you can now? And Chris, or timeout. Okay, you can make sure that you hear me as well. I can see my bars, but I'm just making sure. Let me know, and I'll continue to monitor that in the chat. Let me know if you guys can hear me one way or the other. Okay, I'm good now on YouTube, so I should be good on Facebook in just a second. Yeah, so it's a big week for WSSU. Yesterday was Giving Tuesday. And so that gave folks an opportunity to give to the university. I know there were a number of classes that were kickstarting their fundraisers. That's great. And also just folks that wanted to give to the greatest areas of need. And so, again, this is a great season to give for those of us who are blessed to do it, whether that's large or small. As I was saying a little bit earlier, our alumni giving rates are not great. And this is a great time of the year to increase them. So definitely shout out to everybody who gave, no matter what. And again, this is a big Ram week. Some of the stuff we knew was coming, just in the order of how things have worked out over the last couple months, and just because stuff is on the calendar. And then other stuff we didn't know was coming. So let's talk about some of the best news with WSSU right now in terms of athletics. And that is our women's basketball program. Let's give a big shout out to the WSSU women, aka the Lady Rams, for those who use that terminology. And that is the nickname. They are red hot right now. They just picked up their fifth win in a row on Monday, taking on Lee's McRae. It was a very tough win, but 5 wins in a row for head coach Tiara Terry and her program. Really huge. I knew it had been a while since we won 5 games. We had to go back to the 2016-2017 season when Coach Lamont and the team won 5 games in a row. They've had some 4 and some 3-game win streaks, but 5 in a row, truly spectacular. We're getting so much energy around the WSSU women's basketball program, which is excellent. I got a chance to go to the home opener against, I believe it was Converse. Not the sneakers, Converse. That's the name of the college. And, they played a really suffocating style of basketball. And I got to see them against A&T as well. But we know they were playing up against A&T, who's probably got a women's basketball budget that probably rivals our men's basketball budget, if we're just being real. So, that was a tough loss for them. But they have learned from that, and they are undefeated against Division II play, including the win there. In the game against Converse, they went for over 100 points, and it had been, I believe, maybe 3 years since we had gotten over 100 points in our women's program. So super excited about the growth and what Coach Terry is doing. Again, she came over from Virginia Union earlier this year, and she brought a couple of young ladies with her that have been super instrumental in what they're doing over there. It would be Maya Charles, who is the reigning CIAA Women's Rookie of the Year. She's a big body down low, which is something that we need. It seems like for years we've kind of struggled to have, bigs on our men's and women's basketball teams, even though Cleo Hill was able to get some. But she's a really good one with a lot of potential. And she believed in Coach Terry enough to come down to Winston-Salem, as did Akia Pai, who is another young lady who has really just risen. She actually was named before Monday's game, I believe. She was actually named the Women's Rookie of the Week for the CIAA. So claps for Miss Pai. Miss Pai she actually came from Virginia Union as well. She redshirted last year. And so she was another, young lady that Coach Terry managed to convince to come down to WSSU with her. And it looks like both of these young ladies are really going to pay dividends. it is, we've talked about it a lot over the past few years that, our women's basketball program is the only program that has yet to win a CIAA title. The CIAA has had women's basketball as a sport for like close to 50 years now. We've had some teams that have been competitive, but we have never actually been able to win the entire thing. So, it's early, but, it looks like, guys, we could be playing really late into the week in CIAA play. And hey, who knows? Hey, I'm not going to put a lid on it. Maybe we can get to the championship game and win the whole thing. Why not? Why not win the whole damn thing? So, as I look over, just, again, some of the young ladies to highlight, Miss Charles, she has been huge. She is averaging 14.3 points per game. She's also rebounding at 7.3 rebounds a game. She's got over a block a game, and she's playing at an all CIAA level. We got Miss Pye, who's right behind her, scoring with 11 per game. And then we've got Nivea Farmer. It looks like there's 2 injuries for Miss Pye. So we got to get that straightened out. Makalo lead as well. A transfer from Temple is right there too. So a lot of things to really love about what Coach Terry and her staff are doing over here at WSSU with the Lady Rams. So they have, again, played 6 games. They are 5-1, 5-0 against Division II competition. And so their next game won't be until December 11th. So got a little ways away. That's a home game. And then they'll start playing NCAA play. The men and women will head up to Bowie, Maryland, as well as Lincoln, Pennsylvania. So if you're in those areas, those are going to be in mid-December. So if you're in those areas, please make sure you go support both our men's and women's basketball teams. Yeah, it feels good. It feels good to see that. Like I said, the atmosphere was really great at the home game that I was able to check out. Again, sometimes it can be a little spotty when there's not a doubleheader, but the energy was great in there. And as they continue to win, we will definitely make sure that we continue to highlight the things that they have going on, as well as you see right here, made the graphic. Ram hot. They are Ram hot, 5 in a row, longest streak since January 2017. Gritty road wins the last couple of times, as well as the home win. And Coach Terry has been a home run so far, and we look forward to seeing what they are going to do moving forward. All right, now let's transition to the men. Okay. So the men, this is season 2 for, and yes, Alonzo, thanks for the support. Yeah, I need everybody to hit that like and that bell. The men, they opened up the season this year looking a lot like they looked like last year. This is year 2 for Coach Thompson. And again, last year he had the difficulty of having to basically get the job, just before school started. And he was working from behind all year. So it was tough. We won 4 games plus a forfeit. So, the record says 5, but we won 4 games plus a forfeit. It was a struggle. It was hard to watch at times. And, I got a chance to see them a couple times. I saw them against VUL. I mean, they won, and that was good. It was VUL. Kansas Carolina, they looked like they had some things going on. But then I saw them on Saturday against a Barton College team that had not won a game all year, and it looked like a lot of the same stuff from last year, which at this point is not good. But they suffered that loss, and they were looking for they're really trying to figure things out. Well, they've got one thing figured out, and that for sure is that our guy, this guy right here, Tyree Boykin, knows how to put the ball in the basket. He had been having a good year all year, but on Monday night, he had a night for, I don't know if you can say the ages, because we can look at our stats, but you can say he had a night for the decades, right? He scored 48 points, which I did some research, and let me see if I can pull up my research. But I did some research on the WSSU men's basketball program. There wasn't really a lot of information out there, but I did manage to get a copy of the media guide, the last media guide that was printed back in 2013, 2014. And so 48 points is amazing. But just to tell you how much history WSSU has as a program, it's actually not in the top 10. It is the most this decade, though, but we can talk about that a little bit later. But he had 48 points, 18 to 27 field goals, 8 for 12 from the three-point line, and he had 5 steals in a game against Mount Olive. A game against no, it was Mount Olive. He had 50, so a really great game for him. That is easily, I knew as soon as I saw the point total, that was the most that I've seen scored in the 20 years that I've been associated with WSSU. Man, that sounds a lot. But, I knew that was the most that I had seen scored. And, going back and looking in the record books from 2013, the top 10 performances were listed there. 9 of the top 10 were Earl Monroe, but not number 1. Number 1 was a gentleman named Bill English, who played with Earl Monroe. And then the year after Earl Monroe left and went to the pros, after they won the NCAA tournament, he put up 77 against Fayetteville State. The previous record was by Earl Monroe, who had put up 68 points against Fayetteville State. So we see why when Fayetteville State actually beats us in anything, they act like they won the Super Bowl, right? That's just, they've been used to getting kicked from us. So, great night by him, but also definitely want to highlight some of the other teammates who stepped up as well. One of the guys that we have had our eyes on since last year was Abu Kamara. He's a big man from Texas, and let's see if I can pull up the stats here. He's a big man from Texas and great rebounder. The passing, the back offensively, it can be spotty. In the free throws, he's had a tough season. He's not the greatest free throw shooter in the world, but hey, on Monday night, he was fouled and he hit the go-ahead free throws as WSSU again took in a 93-91 win. So really good for him. He struggled a lot in the previous game shooting his free throws. But again, solid rebounder. He's averaging 10.7 rebounds per game. He's averaging 9 points a game, shooting 63% overall. And, so those are two guys that came back and that we felt like, they had to have an impact. The thing for WSSU this year, if they're going to be any better than they were last year, which is a low bar, but, if they're going to be better than they were last year, they are going to need to have a third and fourth scoring option, as well as they're also going to need to stop turning the ball over so much. If we pull up the stats, right now, our assist to turnovers, we have 62 assists in 6 games, which is just over 10 a game, but we've got 93 turnovers. So, yeah, it's going to be hard to win ball games like that. But we're going to have to see who's going to step up and really get and provide that third and fourth scoring spark. Right now, number 3 on the team has been Ethan English. He is a JUCO transfer that's been there. He's played off the bench, averaging 8.2 points a game. Masson Bryant, he was on the team last year. He had some flashes of good play. He's averaging 7.2 points a game. But I think the two guys to me that have shown at times They just had to be more consistent, that they could possibly be that third option to really make defenses have to not just smother Tyree Boykin or foul Abu Kamara. And that is both Isaiah Ray and Isaiah Sutherland. So, if we can find both Isaiahs playing well, we will be in good space. Isaiah Ray is only shooting 35% right now, but he had 15 on Monday, and that was definitely needed. Isaiah Sutherland hasn't played the last couple of games. Not sure what's going on with that, but he's shown some flashes as well. So, there is, WSSU basketball. The jury remains out, and to see, what's going to happen as far as, getting better. We got predicted to finish last in the CIAA, and I'll be honest, in a lot of our games, you can see why. They're going to have to do some proving to a lot of folks, including us who are supporters. There's still a lot of season left to go. We literally are only 6 games in right now, but prior to that game, we had lost all of our games against Division II opponents by double figures. And the CIAA is no joke. It's no joke right now. We know Fayetteville State took Bluefield State's coach, who led them to the CIAA championship game last year. Virginia State is still Virginia State. Virginia State is the defending champs. They were taking on Shaw tonight, who Shaw came into that game 6-0. So that's a big game early on in the CIAA. I think it might be a non-conference game over there in Raleigh. But either way it goes, I have heard tell of a big man coming in January. January can't get here fast enough. But definitely want to salute Tyree Boykin. He is having not only just an amazing game, but a really great season so far. Again, only 6 games in, but look at these numbers that this man is averaging. He is shooting 53% from the field as a guard. Pretty crazy. We've had some really talented guards that have not done that. He's shooting 54, almost 55% from the 3. Unheard of. He's free throws, he's shooting right at 74%, but 24.5 points per game. He leads the team in assists. He also leads it in turnovers, but he has the ball in his hand a lot. He also leads the team in steals. So shout out to Tyree Boykin, who is one of the guys that who has been by far the best find that Coach Thompson has brought along with him so far. And so we'll look to see what the men can get done when we take a look at their schedule. You would like for them to get some momentum, but you look at their schedule, and that last game was December 1st. They didn't have another game scheduled until December 11th, but unfortunately, that game against South Central College was canceled, and so they won't play again until the 14th. So 2 weeks off. I don't know. These are really great numbers for a guard. That 55% number from 3 is just crazy. But my thing is the guy's arm can't fall off, and if he's got to beat Earl Monroe for us to win a game against Mount Olive, we can't expect to go very far. So shout out to him. Historic night again. He scored more than anybody. I know I talked to John Dell, who's been covering WSSU longer than I have, and he said he couldn't remember anybody scoring that many points. And again, I looked in the record book from 2013, 1 through 10. The 10th highest scoring total was Earl Monroe, scoring 50 one night. It did go on to say that Earl Monroe had a total of 18 of the top 20 performances in school history. Well, now I'm guessing he's got 17, because that 48 is not far off from that number. Again, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Please, however you guys are watching this, please go ahead and hit the like button. It's a little thing that goes a long way. The page is not monetized yet for basketball for this page, but I definitely appreciate everybody. That like button goes a long way. All right, guys, let's see what's starting to pick up steam. So, all right, let's get into some other stuff. So before we because I won't keep you guys too long. So this week, again, it's December 3rd, and obviously we are looking for a head football coach. And so, Chancellor Brown has previously stated that with the way that things go with the transfer portal, and of course we got some guys that are in the transfer portal. We got Dalen Lee, we got some of his receivers, some talented guys that we would honestly like to have back because of the transfer portal, and also just the nature of college football these days. That we wanted to make our hire for our head football coach as quickly as possible, just because that's kind of how the game is moving. And yes, we also have an AD opening as well, which, again, if you've been a long-time follower of WSSU Ram Nation, and I know we haven't been around long, but since I've been doing this early in the year, I said, we really need to make some decisions because we don't want to be looking for both. We're looking for both. But it is what it is. Again, in addressing the supporters, Chancellor Brown has, said that, they're not going to wait for the AD to get the head football coach because, again, with the window for football, it just kind of is a more, it is something that, is a little bit more pressing. So interim AD Eric Burns is, over the search. And so, the goal that Chancellor Brown stated back then in mid-November, right after Coach Massey put in his resignation, was that they were going to be looking to make this hire by the beginning of December. Well, folks, what day is it? It's December 3rd. So this is the first week of December. And again, this is a date that I've been keeping my eyes on for a while because that is when the scheduled Board of Trustees meeting was set. So yeah, to that end, actually, one of the things that I am super happy about when it comes to the Brown administration is their transparency and the information that we're getting that we were not getting under the previous administrations. So, we definitely, and that includes our Board of Trustees meetings, because these are public meetings. They have to be held in public. The public has to have access to them. And for a long time on our website, they weren't listed, or if they were, it was just old meetings and maybe old notes. But now we're actually getting some really pertinent information. And so I dropped this in the alumni group chat earlier today. Folks were acting like I had like the super inside information. I didn't, but I do sometimes, but I didn't on this one. Literally, if you go to, basically, if you go to, well, let's do it. Let's give you guys a tutorial on it. WSSU Board of Trustees. And guys, I can't type. Board of Trustees. All right, so here we go. This gives you information about our Board of Trustees. Shout out to Miss Kelly Mills, the Chief of Staff, for doing the RAM thing and making sure that this stuff is updated. So let's see the meeting, upcoming meetings. And you go here, agenda and material. So again, if you miss anything, all of this stuff is there, dating back to September of last year. Again, as I said, we weren't previously getting updated with that, even though we're supposed to, but now we are. So, all right, with that in mind, let's go over to this, because you click in here. Here are our public documents, and let's just go to the full board. Meeting. So we're going to run through these because I think these are important to know, and then we'll finish up just talking about the football transition. So the UNC System Capital Project procedure guidance calls for projects to be authorized by the Board of Trustees. So the Ram Shack, located on the first level of Thompson Center, a dining area currently not in use, but is a space that can be used to provide alternative dining options for students. Location has not been used for numerous years, and as a result, the infrastructure along with the equipment will need to be replaced. Estimated cost So it's a $700,000 project. The benefit is opening additional dining facility for food options, including late night options. So the requested authorization is there. I know a lot of us know and love the Ram Shack from our time at WSSU, and it is not a thing currently. But hey, the Board of Trustees, they have the power, right? So we'll see. We'll hear on that. Let's see. They are also asking for mobile partitions to make those operable. That is, just under $300,000. So they're trying to get subdivision of space. So just something to know. Fire alarm system needs to be replaced at Gleason Harris Terrace. So hey, if you're a Gleason alumnus, go ahead and put it in the chat, or put your residence hall in the chat, right? Go ahead and rep your res hall. All right, let's see. Let's go ahead and get these comments popping. So next up, the S.G. Atkins House was the home of Simon Green Atkins and is currently houses alumni engagement. It was built in 1893 and relocated to its current location along from the alumni house. The house needs significant repair, and the initial phase of the project will address the south side of the building. So you see the cost there, between designer and construction, we're talking about $125,000. Definitely, I know I've volunteered sometimes at the alumni house. It can get very hot in there or very cold. So it's a very old building, as you saw. So let's see, anything else that we need. Pegram Hall. So Pegram Hall was built in 1937 and served as a residence hall. This building has been offline for several years, and the campus now seeks to revitalize the building and repurpose of the space for student and office use. The project has a budget of just the plumbing, mechanical, and electrical systems need to be replaced, along with the addition of an elevator and other accessibility considerations. The renovation will create additional space for the campus for needed use near the campus core. The project has a budget of $16 million, which has previously been assigned. Planning for the renovation is now at the stage that requires selection of an architect. So here are the names of the architects that are out there: Jenkins Pier Architects, Davis Kane Architects, and LS3P Architecture. So so let me make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, let me get into the comments. Okay, so we got Bickett and Brown Hall. Okay, a veteran. Okay, a veteran. All right, we see. All right. Okay, Alonzo showing out for GHT and Rams Commons. Let's go. All right, Dr. Miles. I know she has given of her Ram time there. She says SGA house definitely needs repairs. Hey, there we go. It's in the power of the Board of Trustees. Let's keep going. The Board of Trustees authorization for this project to cost $740,000 as of its September 2025 meeting. The next step, this document is in there as well. You guys can check that out. Hauser renovation is a renovation for the Hauser building. Project is under design, which will bid the first phase in the new year. So here are some of the folks that are in the bidding for that as well. Let's see. Okay. Winston-Salem State University Board of Trustees resolution to delegate authority for capital improvement projects. That is in there as well. Then there's also an item related to consideration and approval to tuition and fees on December 5th. Supporting materials will be provided as soon as possible. So as you guys see, there is a lot that's going to be going on in that Board of Trustees meeting. These Board of Trustees meetings, again, are public. They will, and they have recently, and I expect that they will again publish the link for folks to come in and observe. So if you haven't done that and you have the time on Friday, or if you catch it later, I would definitely advise it. So shout out to everybody who is, being active alumni, part of our alumni. So let us go from here. And then last but not least, I know a lot of you guys are here, and that is, again, we are looking for a new head football coach. And let's see here. Let's pull this up. So let's see. So yeah, we're looking for a new head football coach. Obviously, the Coach Robert Massey era is done. It's been a tough couple of years. Been a tough most of this last decade for WSSU football. Even if you talk about the last couple of years under Keenis Boulware, who did win 2 CIAA championships. Head coach Robert Massey did not win a single CIAA championship. He's the first head coach in WSSU since Tiny Wallace back in the early and mid 1970s to not win a CIAA championship in his time at WSSU. So obviously, this is a position that has had a lot of prestige, and now it's not often that the job is up, but it is up now. And again, I've been kind of all year I've been really hoping we weren't in this situation where we didn't have to pick a head coach without a director of athletics. Ideally, you have alignment between your chancellor, your AD, and your football coach. Those are usually some of the most prominent people in terms of being forward facing. And we're going to have the chancellor and we're going to have the new head football coach. The AD, remains to be seen what's going to happen. Will it be interim AD Burns? We talked previously about some of the things he's done. Will it be someone who's already in there? I do believe that it was revealed that there will be a national search for that as well. So, hopefully, I know for sure, WSSU has gone through situations over the last couple of years as far as athletic directors where we didn't have one for 2 football seasons. Like, that was a thing. It was bad. And it set up a lot of things that we got into, but it's happened before. I don't believe under this chancellor that we will see that type of, we want to say negligence. We want to say mishandling. Definitely it wasn't a good thing, but I don't think we'll see that. But again, the head football coach will be hired first because that's kind of what the position demands. And kudos to Chancellor Brown for recognizing that. We are at a very critical juncture in regards to not only our university, but also obviously athletics and football in particular. Like, there's never been a time where it has been more beneficial to be an HBCU, even at the Division II level, than it is right now with the visibility that come from platforms such as, I'm going to say it first, HBCU Game Day, but also HBCU Go, ESPN, the CIAA has its own network, and so so many opportunities for sports to become a part of your branding in your university. And unfortunately, as time has gone on, in a lot of ways, outside of our men's basketball program, we've fallen outside of that. Now, we've been fortunate because of ties to, because of our name, because of our history, to be able to pick up some options that not a lot of Division II HBCUs would have. And I believe that we have clearly the best brand in the CIAA in terms of history, in terms of fan engagement, attendance. We have the best brand, bar none. But I know that we have not sold it like we have the best brand. You have the best product in the world. You got the best sneakers in the world. But if you don't do commercials, nobody's going to know what it is. So obviously, the best commercial for that in terms of athletics is winning. And whoever the new head football coach is going to be, obviously, he's going to be tasked with the expectation of winning, right? That's just the thing around here. Even though folks have, as hard as we try to make it not to be a thing, it is a thing. And I'm glad that it is a thing. So the next head football coach is going to have to be able to handle that, but they're also going to have to really be a part of the branding as well and really putting us in prominence where we belong. They're going to have to be a face in the community. Again, these are all things that the Chancellor Benita Brown, you know what? I could keep talking, but I could let you guys hear from her. Now, you're not going to hear from her actually, but what you're going to hear from her, John Dell, I totally agree with this. It needs to be updated, rebranded, and the brand doesn't have to all look the same. It can there's room to grow in the WSSU brand, but we will get to that in just a second. Let's hear from Chancellor Brown. This is an interview that she did with John Dell of the Winston-Salem Journal. All right. Now, I know a lot of y'all are not paying the $5 for the Winston-Salem Journal articles, but that's why I'm here. So, you know what? I'm going to just go ahead and start dropping the Cash App on here, so y'all can support your boys since you won't do that. But yeah, here's some of the questions that were asked. How important is it to get the right football coach as you transition to the next era? It's extremely important. WSSU football is more than a sport on our campus. It's one of the foundational pillars, I like that, of our identity and a powerful source of pride for our students and alumni community. As we move into this next era, selecting the right head coach is essential to ensuring our student athletes are supported, challenged, and developed both on and off the field. The right leader will not only elevate the competitiveness of our program, but will help restore the strength, spirit, and stability that the Rams fans expect and deserve. Football is often described as the front porch of a university, and for WSSU, that porch has always been welcomed in our community, showcased our excellence, and inspired our future. This hire is central. Ooh, there's the word central, but we're not going to be triggered, guys. We're not going to be triggered. This hire is central to honoring the legacy and positioning us for long-term success. Let's just pull back from there. This is what you want. I mean, I don't know that you can give a better answer for this. I really don't know as a chancellor that you can give a better answer for this in terms of why it is important to get this hire right. So obviously, Chancellor Brown gets it. Thank you. Whew. All right. Yeah. So that sounds good to me. Sounds good to y'all. Let me know in the chat. Can I get some hand claps? Can y'all drop a ram in the chat or something for that? Let's do that. Amon, be pleased. All right. What's the most important quality in the next football coach? Several essential qualities that we're prioritizing as we search for the next leader of our football program. I love she said football program. Yes, program, not team. First and foremost, we need someone who's unequivocally student-centered. Growth of our student athletes extends far beyond the field. A coach that understands profound responsibility of shaping character, supporting academic success, and preparing young people for life. We need a strong partner in advancing financial resources for the program. Yes. Someone who can serve as a visible ambassador, Rambassador, if you would. Just putting that out there. And help build a sustainable pipeline of support for our student athletes. And finally, we're looking for a connector. Where's my plug? I need a plug. Anyway, the next coach must be someone who can inspire our campus, energize our alumni, and bring the broader community together around a shared vision. Can we just sit in that? Can we just sit in there? I love that answer. I love that answer. What's up, Sheila? What's up? Make sure you guys check out Queens of the Yard on HBCU game day. We dropping soon. We'll be letting you guys know about that. Appreciate you, Doc, for the Rams. Please go ahead and share this too if you're on Facebook, and let folks know about this. All right. Yes. Major key for sure. We need some ambassadors. Yes. All right. Let's see. So yeah, let's just get that. Can we just get that one more time? The next coach must be someone who can inspire our campus, energize our alumni, and bring the broader community together around a shared vision. The ability to unite people, both in spirit and purpose, is critical not only for the success of the program, but the continued elevation of WSSU. As an aside, I'd offer up that we want to win games, so we must have someone who has that fire to compete. I don't know about y'all. That got good to me. All right. Are you surprised at how many alumni and fans are interested in who will be the next coach? No, I'm not surprised at all. It's a coveted position. Our alumni and fans care deeply about this university, and the legacy of WSSU football is woven into who we are. Man, I just love the language here. Many remember and helped build eras when we were dominant force in our conference, and that history continues to fuel their passion and expectations. Their engagement reflects a profound sense of pride and ownership in this institution. We share that desire to restore the strength of our program. I like that she keeps saying restore. Yes, because that wasn't it. All right. Their voices remind us just how meaningful the next chapter is for the entire Ram community. Yeah. Again, we're getting all the right words here for sure. And she says, she wants somebody that wants to win. I can tell she's a very competitive person, and that bodes well for us. Do you think having a successful football program does in terms of school spirit and even alumni donations? Major key right here. A strong athletic program has always had the power to elevate the spirit of an institution, and football in particular plays a unique role in WSSU. A successful program brings our campus together, strengthens pride among current students, and create moments that remind our alumni why they hold this place so dear. As we make this critical coaching decision, I believe the right leader will provide exactly the spark we need to re-energize our alumni base, inspire new and returning donors, and deepen engagement with community partners. Say that again. When football thrives, the entire university feels that momentum, and it creates a ripple effect that supports everything from recruitment to philanthropy to our overall visibility. Finally, a chancellor that gets it. All right, let's continue. All right. All right, now this is a good question right here. Now, this is a good question right here. Jardell, for sure. Hey, he's gonna ask that. He says, will any of the $50 million that Mackenzie Scott donated to the school be used for athletics? We're still in the very early stage of determining how the Mackenzie Scott gift will be allocated, and we are approaching this planning process with the seriousness and strategic foresight that a transformational investment deserves. Our guiding priority is that these funds will be directed where they will have the greatest and most lasting impact on our students. As we work through this process, our decisions will consider all aspects of the university, including athletics, but will remain firmly rooted in supporting student success and strengthening the university's core mission. So we didn't get a direct answer there, but it sounds like they're going to be considered. Let's throw some dollars in the chat. Let's throw some dollars in the chat. Dollar signs in the chat for that Mackenzie Scott money. So you heard it there first. Our chancellor, Benita Brown, understands that football is super important. She understands that what we've been getting is not what we've been getting, or not what we were used to. And so, obviously, thank you, Shannon. Thank you for showing the way. Obviously, the change has been made there, as well as the athletic director. Both of those will eventually be rectified. Our football coach is going to be, as previously stated, is going to be there first. Again, Chancellor previously said that they would like to get it done by the first week of December. We're in the first week of December. We have the Board of Trustees meeting coming up. So the expectation around campus is that we will know who the next head football coach is probably by the end of this week. So look, guys, now is a really great time, a really important time. Again, a lot of people are not super easy about a chancellor, about having not having an AD be on board when you make the coaching hire. And I get it from the practical and conventional higher education wisdom. Again, there generally is that situation, but I have to look at it like this. WSSU football is WSSU in general, WSSU athletics, and WSSU is a product. And we have a great product, but it needs some TLC. It needs some tender love and care, and it needs a CEO that is going to, that is guiding and directing. And so I think for me, when I hear, again, ideally, yes, you'd like to have that alignment. I've been saying all year, we don't want to be in this position. And knowing that, contracts were up when they were up, I felt like we might be in this position. I was hoping we weren't in it, but hey, here we are. What are we going to do about it? The main thing is we have a chancellor that has, says everything right about how she understands and the importance of this hire and what she's looking for. I don't think that there was a single miss on that. Also, again, I know that interim AD Eric Burns was mentioned, and he talked several times with the, in the previous meeting that was listed. So, he talked about what it is that they were looking for. You can go look up the HBCU Game Day article. I think I did a live about it as well. So I think we're in good Ram hands with this hire. Remains to be seen, exactly the results of it. But everything that she said is what we need. Not only do we need someone who knows the X's and O's, but someone who can manage a great staff and who can be out and be, in fundraising and be in rooms and be a representation of WSSU football and the university as well. Not only, in the CIAA and in athletics, but also in the community too. So I'm optimistic. I think we're going to get, I think it'd be great to get a fresh start. And I think that a lot of people are ready to see what this next era looks like. Again, hiring the right guy is a super important part, but it's only the first part of it. I think they also, as well, too, and the chancellor said this is something that she would like, is having a giving campaign around the new head coach to roll out. It's extremely, extremely important. So hopefully, when we do see the announcement, we're going to see that too, so that we can capitalize off the excitement. And what we have to do is we have to make WSSU football and athletics and just WSSU something all around that you think about all year round, which means we have to increase our branding and marketing from, not only, spending money, but just the information that we put out. We're in the social media age. There's some things in our department that need to be there to uplift the program as they look to undergo that. As we talked about branding, we have so many people that love this university and so many alumni who have talent, who would love to give of it, to contribute back. And, everybody wants to be compensated for their time and genius. But, again, I think that there is a lot that can be done with some outside the box thinking. We are Division II in NCAA classification, but that does not mean that we have to be Division II in our thinking. And I'll be honest with you, there are some Division II CIAA schools right now that are running circles around us in a lot of areas beside the ball being on the court. So I'm hoping that, again, not only will the hire inspire people, but also that the people that are on the inside will be inspired to be innovative, change up some things with the brand. I've been pushing to bring back the blue movement. I believe that is a real thing. I believe that's something new and fresh. I believe that merchandise needs to be part of that as well. And that our brand is big enough and diverse enough. And I just think that it has been woefully undersold. And so I'm hoping for the best. We'll see in a couple of days, what happens with the new hire, but hopefully it'll be someone, as Chancellor Brown said, that everybody can rally around, everybody can get excited about. Because look, guys, it's got to be a Ram new day on South MLK and in the CIAA. What we've been getting is not what we need. It's not what we want. And it's time to act like the brand that we are in terms of athletics. Figure out how we can maximize what we have instead of just, thinking in those same parameters. So I'm excited, guys. You guys let me know how you're feeling about this. If what you thought about the Chancellor said. And I'm truly excited about it. So let's see. So when we were red and white and blue, there was no merchandise available in those colors. Everything was still red, white, and black. I did now, Calvin, I don't know. I did see some photos from maybe in the 80s where I did see a young lady with a WSSU shirt that had a blue stripe, outside color. But I think for sure it's something that why not do it now? If you looked at homecoming, you actually saw people's custom stuff. You actually saw a lot more. I'm not saying it's because of me. I'm not saying it's because of WSSU Ram Nation, but you saw a lot more blue this year than you saw in years past. So also, it's been brought to my attention. I think we could do some different things branding wise besides using the WSSU logo. I mean, our name, guys, is Winston-Salem State University, right? The first four letters spell out wins. Our first letter is a W. What do you do when you win? You get the dub, aka a W blue, a W. So, and I saw Calvin's shirt. Okay, well, look, here we go, Calvin. Case in point, that was dumb. That ain't make no Ram sense. But hey, you know what? It's 2025 now, and the merch game is on a whole nother level. It's time for us to take advantage of it. I just there's so many things that we can do with our brand that aren't super expensive, but there we. All right, I'm not gonna shake my camera down. Yes, fly to W. Yes, fly to W. So I'm begging for this. I know, folks will give us thousands of reasons why we can't do it or the slowdown, and I get it, but let's just go. There's so many talented WSSU alumni that there you go. See, you get it. I mean, look, we even got the old school, the throwback, we even got the throwback where you have the old school. You even have the throwback. What is it? You have the throwback. Yeah. Well, you know what? I wasn't gonna do this, but since we're on here, let's see if I can get this. Let's see if I can get this popping a little bit, just to. Wrong video. Let's see. But yeah, so yeah, there's so many things that we can do with it. So many alumni who do custom stuff. And if it works, right. We got we got so many, and I don't even want to shout out folks. I will shout out my guy Culture Savage, because he always comes through. He's always definitely the plug. But there's so many other folks that are really doing the Ram thing in regards to they're really doing it in regards to the
Woodbury looking pretty good.
He's looking all right. It's a tackle and get more confident.
Yeah, to make.
Yeah, so this is
plus 2 come into the.
And a strong athletic program, and I think we're making some progress with it.
In Durham, Central is one of the keystones up
to that.
Well, you look at his numbers on the night.
Yeah, so red, white, and blue from the 90s.
All around threat
down. That's going to be really. Let's see if something happens when he plants to make a cut here.
Yeah, so there we go. So there's again, as Alonzo said, way too many Ramley to own clothing lines for us not to make that happen. Let's think outside of the box, and get people excited. Yes, there we go. All right, guys. Well, look, this has gone on for just under an hour, minus the couple minutes that I was talking. And there was no sound. So, but I hope everybody's excited about what's to come. We'll see what happens. But whatever happens, again, once this hire is made, we can't just have radio silence until spring football. Like, obviously, Chancellor Brown sees the new head coach. Chancellor Brown sees the new head coach as being someone who's going to be out there in the community. So hopefully when the new head coach is out there in the community, we're going to have, media folks following him and, showing that we're out there in the community, because what we want to do is we want to sell some Ram tickets, right? We want to get the community involved, pay the $5, do some giveaways, kiss babies, all of that stuff. And we just have to, really make this exciting. And we have to join the 21st century in terms of investing in our football program, from our new head coach to our branding and marketing, and make Bowman Gray Stadium the place that people want to be on Saturday in Winston. I appreciate you, Calvin, for all your support and your insight. And guys, I'm gonna let anybody else have any final words before we get away. But so we'll go over what we talked about really quickly, and I'll let you guys go. We have the WSSU women are rolled red hot. Unfortunately, they don't play again for a while until the 11th. So, but we'll be looking forward to seeing what Coach Terry does there. Men's basketball, again, they got the win the other day. Shout out to our guy. Shout out to the whole team. Again, a much needed win. Tyree Boykin, he's a bad man. He's a bad Ram. Shout out to our own Kevon Turman over in advancement. Hey, I hope you heard that stuff about. I hope you heard that stuff about the brand. Bring back the blue. W's in the chat. Put up the dub. So and then also we talked about the Board of Trustees meeting that's upcoming. Some of the things that are on there. Hey, Ram Shack might be back. Let us know what you think about that. If you're in here, you went to the Ram Shack. Before we get out of here, let us know what your meal of choice was from the Ram Shack. Alonzo, I know you got something in there. Go ahead and give me something before we get out of here. Make sure you guys share this, whether on YouTube or on Facebook as well. But again, it's a big Ram week. It's a new day on South MLK and in the CIAA. Remember that, guys. All right, I'm going to catch you guys on the flip side. And if you thought you were getting a name out of me, you're wrong. Peace.